Hello, everyone. My name is Abhishek, and I represent Fabwelt as CEO of the company. I've been into various fields in my life, and I think it's destiny that I've landed up into gaming and into the future of gaming, which is blockchain gaming, or as we call as Web3 gaming. My background basically was a computer science engineer, more into automotives, but it's something really very cool of what happened to me 3 years ago. And I started this company along with my founder in Netherlands. We both had a cool gaming idea, and we understood, there's a lot of uh, scope to do on the product side of gaming on Web3 games. So this is where we are, and I'm here to talk about how much our is the community or the world is into gaming, and how is going to gaming evolve in the coming future with the help of a blockchain technology or without the help of it. So I would like to share my screen right now. Yes. So yes, the topic is how much do we understand gaming on blockchain? There are a lot of questions. Being a gamer, it's like a home to me of where I'm playing the games that I play. As a gamer, I'm emotionally attached. Now, when I'm introduced something new, which is blockchain gaming, I would rather feel a bit uncomfortable to move out of my home and try something new or move to a new place. So this is how blockchain gaming is a new technology, but still it is very early. But yeah, it is really very important to understand why gaming focus is going to be going to the future of let's say blockchain gaming. So I'll give you a simple example. You can understand why this topic has been taken upon today. So I've been playing games since I was a kid, and initially I played games on video consoles without the internet. I've played games even on computers without the internet, but then internet took over. And once internet came into existence, we were shifted to gaming, which is now called as multiplayer gaming. Initially, we were also reluctant. Why do I need internet? Why do I have to connect to internet to play games? But the shift happened over the period of time, and now I think almost more than 90% of games you need internet to play. So that is called as Web 2 gaming, the current boom of gaming that we are into. Now I think since it's about 2 or 3 decades we have been into Web 2 gaming, it's time for an evolution, and that evolution is blockchain gaming. Since we saw the shift from stage 1, Web 1 to Web 2, now it's time for Web 3. So yeah, blockchain gaming, when people ask you, you can refer to it as not very prominent. You can refer to it as the future, but I'm very sure after what I explained to you today, you're going to change your views a little bit about it, and maybe you're going to self-read and self-educate and understand more about gaming on blockchain. Yes. So as I said, my name is Abhishek, and I represent Fabwelt Studios. Fabwelt Studios is responsible for creating high-end games on blockchain. The idea was to fill in the gaps of the products that gaming can bring on blockchain. We have seen a lot of financial models on the blockchain itself, right from across 2020 to 2019. Many good projects have incorporated some very good financial structure, due to which we did really see a lot of so-called gamers trying to leverage blockchain to get back their investments in many ways. But really, are we really ready to perform or experience gaming on the blockchain? 3 years back then, Fabwelt Studios did not think so, because there were really not much interesting games to play upon. So that is why we come with the idea of shaping the future of gaming with blockchain technology in the coming times to come. Yes. So now the basic question: what is blockchain gaming? It is very simple as that. You take any game, and blockchain is something that is a magical technology. You really do not have to change everything, change the structure of the game, but just have to integrate the technology of blockchain into gaming, and so called it's blockchain gaming. It's as simple as that. So it gives you an extra layer of gaming, extra layer of protocols, extra layer of structure of what you actually are doing right now while playing games at home. You could do that with blockchain technology too. And now the question is, what is blockchain gaming is done. So why do we need blockchain gaming? And we are going to look at that. Now, as I said, Fabwelt Studios, the idea of Fabwelt Studios is to build, quality games on the chain. So why do we need blockchain gaming? So these games, it's always a fantasy for a gamer that everything that I'm playing inside the game, I should be able to own it, have an ownership. Or maybe I'm putting so much effort, so much time into it. What do I get out of it? There is one, the leisure and the pleasure, and at the joy that I get out of it while playing the game. But on top of it, if you really think gaming as a profession, how much can you leverage from that profession? How much can you earn a living out of it? So blockchain gaming provides you that. So why I'm showcasing you our games is that you can still enjoy that pleasure, you can still get the feel of gaming, but of course you are able to own your assets, you're able to own a part of the game itself. And also with respect to the time and with respect to the skills that you are putting into, you can get earnings out of it in terms of cryptocurrencies. So these are some of our products, Arsenal and Fanbuild, and the previous slide I showed you. Those are our games which we built in-house with our beautiful development team. So the idea is to, no matter of any category, no matter any genre, you will be able to enjoy every kind of game on the chain. And that's our motto, and that's how we are moving forward and building forward. Yeah. Now, since the introduction of gaming and the relation between gaming and blockchain has been introduced, we have to know what impact it has created in the economy, in the outside atmosphere, and in the whole entire world itself. So there are some very key points that I'm going to talk about today, how the impact is going to be kind of revolutionary, or it is going to create an evolution in gaming. So the first most important thing which I'll talk about is the earning potential. Now, many of them do really not focus on that part, being a gamer, because they are ignorant about earnings. But if you really look into what you can get out of it, you're just playing games. And I've known people who play games for 10s and 12s and 16 hours in a day. So what if you could convert your time that you invest into some kind of earning? It could be in terms of cryptocurrencies, as I explained. It could be in terms of improving your investments in digital assets, and so on. There are many monetization models, and now as blockchain gaming is evolving, you see a lot of maturity in terms of the financial structure as well. Now, surging popularity is the another part. Very few people knew just a couple of years back what blockchain gaming is about. But if you see, last year was kind of biggest bear market for cryptocurrencies, but gaming saw the largest or the most prominent investments by venture capitalists, by angel investors, by big investors putting their money and trust into blockchain gaming. Why? Because it is gaining immense popularity, and we do see a kind of a percentage of adoption of gamers switching from Web 2 games to Web 3 games. I'll give you a personal example. I know a player who is a community member and our OG player who has been, a top player in many of the Web 2 games. Let's take Counter-Strike, Valorant, and whatnot. He plays about 15 games over the entire week and spends around 6 to 7 hours every day playing games. And now he's playing Fabwelt games and spends most of his time in playing Fabwelt games. Why? Because it offers that kind of ownership and the feel that you get as a gamer, that you are really into the game. Yeah, so now we talked about it's gaining popularity. We talked about there's earning potential. Now we have to know, in a game, everybody is not winner. It all depends on how do you picture the game itself. Depending upon the game, it is not very difficult to have accessible to the earning mechanism that I was talking about, and to the investment improvement that I was talking about. It is accessible to everyone, though it can be limited to your skills, it can be limited to the type of the game you choose, but the opportunities are vast in this area of technology. Now, not only the gamers, as we have seen, since let's talk about last 5 years, there have been immense job opportunities, immense openings, and immense, diversification in roles, especially when it comes to game developers. Now, every game developer that I've known since 3 years back, 3 years ago, they were not very proficient or efficient with blockchain technology. Now, every of my gamer is, kind of, I could say they're experts with blockchain as well. So they build games and they can also integrate blockchain to it. So now, what does this offers to developers? It also offers a new way of creating a revenue stream for them, and also it offers a very diverse kind of a portfolio, which is so very important for growing in career. Like, if I give an offset example, we recently saw a boom of artificial intelligence, with the likes of ChatGPT, Google Bart, and whatnot. So it is going to be really very important in the coming future that you are well versed with AI tools and you become experts with AI tools, because a wise man said, AI will not replace humans, but humans who are using AI will replace humans. So that's something very important. So as a game developer and as a person vouching for blockchain technology, I really feel moving forward, blockchain technology experts are going to replace traditional game developers. So yeah, benefits for developers as well. So it's kind of a circular loop system. It benefits the gamers, it benefits the non-gamers, it benefits the developers, and it of course benefits the creators as well. So that's a whole lot of global economical empowerment happening because of blockchain technology. And gaming is one of the biggest use case of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So let's see what advantages it brings to current world, and what are the challenges that we are looking into moving into the future. How do we solve them? So the advantages, as I've been mentioning from the very beginning, that you are able to control your assets. Just imagine, you are a fan of a gaming studio, let's say EA Sports, right? And you play a certain game with EA Sports. How much have you seen that you can take an asset from the game and transfer it to any other game of the same studio, or even some other studio? So now what blockchain offers you is a great level of transparency, because your ownership is your ownership, and then it is protected by the contracts, which we call as smart contracts, and no one can take the identity and the fact that you own it from you. And then the part of transferring your ownership to other games. Like, for example, Fabwelt is an ecosystem of gaming. So you might say, I invest in game one, and then I again have to invest in game two. No, that's not the case. Every time you can, let's say you buy a weapon in our game, for example in game A called as Arsenal, you can take that weapon into any other game, let's say a racing game, and that weapon will be identified as a different asset, let's say a vintage car. So with the ownership, you now have the power of interoperability, owning assets and taking the assets from one game to another. How much freedom can a technology give to you more than this? So it's just brilliant, and we feel that it is creating a very big impact, a very big change in how we have perceived technologies until now. Now we talk about challenges of blockchain. Though if you see the history of technology over human existence, there have been technologies which are since centuries, and blockchain technology is compared to it with respect to what we know, it's really very kind of a child as a technology, and there has to be a lot of learnings, there has to be a lot of uh, readings and still preaching of this technology, so it has to evolve. So everyone who is wanting to start or who is wanting to learn might have kind of technical hurdles, wherein the learning can take more time. But I would say in the past 2 3 years we have seen the education part of blockchain to the developers, to the community, to everyone out there is expanding exponentially, and you can now find free courses, um, and almost every university is offering you blockchain technology courses, degrees and whatnot. So I think these technical hurdles are still seen, and but the good part is the coping up and the learning part is happening much faster than expected. And then the other and the biggest challenge of blockchain that we even saw last year and this year is the regulatory challenges. What the government is trying to implement, what the economic barriers are there. There are many legal issues over here. But I as I said, it's it's really early, and it really has to mature a lot. Once that happens, it's not going to be a small tech, it's a very large tech. So all these things will take time, but it is very prominent, and it is very promising that these challenges will be overcome, and there'll be a very sustainable system across the globe, among the countries and between the countries. So uh, yes. So, and now we are talking about the final challenge, which is the scalability function. We have seen blockchain struggling with scalabilities, and one of the major examples is Ethereum. Ethereum did struggle. I wouldn't say struggle, but Ethereum had this challenge of scalability. But then it found out new solutions, and it found out other solutions, like more blockchains building on top of Ethereum, like layer 2 solutions, even layer 3 solutions are coming up. So even that is a concern, but still the new tech, the new chains which are coming out are absolutely almost unlimited. They come with unlimited scalability. And yeah, so these are the important factors that we need to consider. And people who are hearing out to me, if you're actually trying to pursue something in terms of gaming and blockchain combined, so these are the things that you first learn about, how you overcome, and then if you implement, I'm sure you can do wonders in this field. So now we have talked about everything. We did see how challenges can be overcome, but do we really see future in gaming with blockchain? Do we really think that there can be something so very promising that it is going to continue for decades or even centuries? Well, we do think so, and we have the idea and the vision that we are going to exist for decades to come, and that is why we are serving our community. So, but what is expected to change in the future? So, first, the most important thing that I would like to say is the structural change. What I mean by this is, how games are being built, how is their revenue model, business model, and how do players are getting onboarded to these platforms? Because oftentimes, you know, it could be very complex for a new user, or a new gamer to even set up a non-custodial or a decentralized wallet. But there are a lot of protocols, a lot of projects, and there are a lot of other services coming up where the onboarding process is just becoming as smooth as creating an email account. So the structural change is really very important, and we really believe that in the coming 5-10 years it is going to become so very smooth, and it is going to be a piece of cake for the new people to onboard to Web3. And getting acquainted to Web3 is also going to become very smooth. Now, the most important, and why we started Fabwelt, is quality of games on the chain. Even if you see now, if I do not want to hide the fact that almost a large majority of games out there are not very pleasing to the gamers, because they are in fact not actually real games, or they do not involve uh, the very uh, the very important factor of skill, or let's say skill and improvements in terms of your entertainment. So gaming is really entertainment, and gaming is really emotional for people who are into it. So quality games is really very important, and I believe the future will see a lot of quality games coming onto the web3. As we have seen, if you're really very much into gaming and acquainted with gaming, we have seen Ubisoft coming on to gaming. We have seen GameStop coming into gaming, and there are many other big studios which are, trying their way to get to enter into Web3 gaming, and shift a part of their community to try out these games. So I think quality games, the product version of the gaming part, is really very important to shape the future of blockchain gaming. As I explained at the very beginning of the presentation, that we have seen great financial structure, but oftentimes, blockchain technology or blockchain gaming or the tech itself is called, a scam, or not very true to this world. It's not because of someone's mistake or something like that, but it is really because of a sustainability issue, and we really have to create a very sustainable environment where the supply and demand of the tokenomics has to be matched, and at least it has to come out to zero, so that every gaming project out there sustains. And if the supply is lesser than the demand, then there is when the uptrend of the gaming projects is going to begin, where the users are in demand of tokens or the coins, and the supply is not enough for them to give. What I mean by not enough is there's scarcity, and that is going to happen, and people are going to really improve their value in terms of how they monetize inside the games, and how they really use their digital assets to improve their gaming skills on gaming on blockchain. And now we recently have seen Nike patenting their NFTs, and there are several other examples of it. So protection of your digital assets is really very important, though they are really protected by the tech itself. But then it can actually happen that an external hacker, or you're being scammed by someone, and then you lose your identity. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of regulations, and there are going to be a lot of security protections to your digital assets. Even if there's some kind of you know fraud happening to you, you will be really able to gain it back. So that's something very important coming in the future. And now the most important in for the entire tech, and especially for the gaming, is the mass adoption. So now there are millions of gamers out there, and on blockchain we have not even seen more than 10% of traditional gamers converting to Web3 technology or Web3 gaming. So the mass adoption is going to happen when all these future points that I've explained, the structural change, the quality change, sustainable finance, NFT patents, and so on, are going to shape up. Then the users will feel more comfortable in this space, and they're going to come in large numbers. And once that happens, then we could call it as mass adoption. And we are really very much eager, and very much wanting to see when that happens, how this technology is going to do wonders and change lives of millions and billions of people across the globe. So yes, that's the end of it. Thank you very much to listening to me. I hope you have a better understanding, and you have now your own point of view. And I'm very sure you're going to go back and at least once search and learn more about blockchain and gaming on blockchain in the coming time. Thank you very much.
When we talk about Web3 game, so people want now we are in the bear market, so people are skeptical. So what are some potential future development and trend for gaming on blockchain, and how might they shape the gaming industry as a whole? So yeah.
Really very important. It's a brilliant question, Lynn. So I really believe there is kind of a very strong support needed from the investors, or so-called backers, let's say venture capitalists. Now, after Bitcoin or after Ethereum, it has always happened. Community always asks us, who are your investors and backers? During the bear market, we have seen, these backers becoming weak and dumping the tokens or not supporting the projects really very well. So what will happen to the community? The community is going to follow what the experienced ones are doing. But there is this war between the tech, the ideology, and the war between what is happening with the tech, uh, by the institutions, by the investors, and then finally by the community. I would just say, in fact, the bear market is the best market to bring the best out of you. If you are put into a strong situation, or in a difficult challenges or difficult situations, that is when your real character comes out. When we began, we had about, we knew about 100 or 200 projects, gaming projects, starting with us and raising 5x 10x more than us, but I do not know where they are. They do not exist anymore. So I would just only say to the community, apart from what you have known, I would say, educate yourself. Try to understand the project directly, not via the backers. Try to interact with them, and do not jump onto the project until you learn more about them. It's a wonderful space where you can directly interact with the creators, the founders, directly via social media, Telegram or Discord. Speak to them, and you will get a sense of confidence with, let's say, project X or project Y, project Z. Only then you try to get into that project. And most of the projects right now are offering free games. Try the games. You see how they're building the products. Look at their roadmap. Are they fulfilling all the points that they've specified? If they are, which means they're legit. Even in the bear market, if they're building, they're legit. So just follow that. And you need to educate yourself really very much. So if you don't understand the tech, it will become very difficult. And anyone from outside the world can come and influence your mind, and then you won't really not believe it. And of course, the bear market gives you a lot of you become underconfident, you become fearful, and as soon as the market turns good, you're again saying, this is going to be the next thing. Gaming is going to be very big on blockchain. Yeah, so emotional sentiments are also very important. I understand, these news do, but stick to your basics, stick to your fundamentals, and you're very good. I can say that gaming is here to exist on blockchain, and gaming will outperform and do wonders on the chain. Just give some time to games to evolve and to innovate and build a good strong community. Then we are almost there.
One more question. That's currently now we see lots of big traditional game that make them move into blockchain game. So how do you see a traditional game developer can transition into blockchain gaming space, and what resources are available to support this transition? And do you see this is a challenge for Web3 native company because lots of big competitor now make a move into blockchain game?
Yeah, exactly. So this is also again a good question, and I've been asked this question before. It is actually, a very good thing if traditional Web3 gaming studios, big studios, are coming to blockchain. Now, apart from the big studios that we know, there are millions of games out there, and even if they are not earning in billions in revenue, there are a lot of games which are earning in thousands and millions in revenue, which are really not known and not really very much famous. So, these traditional players or the traditional studios, Web2 studios, coming onto Web3 platform is actually so very good for, all the Web3 builders already out there, or the Web3 games, because it will give a sense of confidence to everyone out there who have been doubting gaming. Now we can say, see, the players the people who are in this industry since decades are adopting blockchain. So it is something that is going to be the future. So there is no worry, because when they come, they are going to they're going to bring millions of players with them. So I always say you don't eat Chinese every day. So like you can eat pizza today, you can eat Chinese tomorrow, you can eat Vietnamese day after tomorrow. So it's similar with gaming, that you can play a EA Sports game today, you can play Rockstar game today, tomorrow, you can play Fabwelt games day after tomorrow. So you have so many choices. So there's really no need to worry about the competition. The only worry is you have the perfect team, you have the right team to keep building your products and moving forward. Yeah, and the second part of the question, I'm sorry, is how it is, how do traditional gamers build on blockchain gaming? Yes, so this is really very important because the base itself is there. If you can build games, blockchain is really not tough, to be honest. Blockchain is, in fact, I would say, once you understand it, it's the easiest tech to integrate. There are a lot of software development kits. There are a lot of API providers who really help you so very easily that you can integrate. You can make a Web 2 game into Web 3 game if you're newbie within less than a week. And if you're if you have really basic knowledge, you can even integrate Web 3 into gaming in less than 24 hours. So I think not to worry about, but I really would like to tell the gamers that please do acquainted with blockchain. And because you are the creators, you might come up with something so very cool that it can change how blockchain gaming is seen currently.
So in conclusion, how do you think Web3 game 2.0 will look like? So what will be the next trend for game in Web3?
Yeah, that's so awesome question, because I always try to think what could be the future and how we could see the future. So I would say first is very important is strengthening the security part of Web3 games. Once it becomes famous and it's online, it is very much vulnerable to hackers and people trying to penetrate into the system. So trying to make the game is not the part, but the financial structure what blockchain brings is really very important. Trying to make it tight proof, trying to make it so very secure that no investment is lost by the gamer. So innovate in terms of where the blockchain has to interact with the game. If it's not needed, really please do not keep it away, so that the loopholes are less. So that is which I explained it in the presentation, the structural change. So very important. And we have to make sure that people are really going the onboarding process. I'm very much for it, that the onboarding process has to be something more smoother, and it has to be more easier to understand. But gamers or users or community members have to understand there will always be, or there could be an extra layer of protection or extra layer of step that you have to do. Because let's say if you're going to a bank account and if you're going to a bank and the bank is asking you to open an account, and then you said all these stuff is not favoring me, just give me my money. So that is not going to work, because it's your money and the bank does it to secure your investment. So if we are asking you to do one more step more than what you have been doing in Web2 gaming, that is only because we want you to protect your investment. So that is step 2. Second point. And then the most important point is just having more diverse and brilliant games on the chain, not more kind of copy models or something like that. But innovate. You can have, like, for example, our Arsenal game is inspired from Counter-Strike, but if you see inside the gameplay how we have used the blockchain inside the game, that's really very unique. And I think gaming studios on the chain should innovate in that part, and we are at Web 3 2.0 already.